So, welcome to How Not to Write CLIs, or How to Make Your Users Cry. Your choice. So let's start with the first rule of CLI Club. Make every flag a landmine that will get rid of things your user wants. How about the subtle yet devastating git branch D? Git branch lower D deletes a fully merged branch. That's safe. I mean, at least it will tell you if it's not. Make a typo, make a capital D, it's not going to ask you. It will just delete it. Thanks for the data loss. Or perhaps Docker's capital P, which will expose everything, and lowercase p will make it a specified port. Why make it predictable and boring when you could be surprising and just not help your users to understand what's happening? Or perhaps we could look at curl. Curl-D, well, that is a post request with some data that you're sending, because send data begins with a D, right? I mean, I would have read that and thought that was going to delete from the API. No, it's sending data to the API. They want us to use -X, but it's a capital X only. That's for people who read the documentation. Or perhaps we could embrace the ambiguity in naming. We can do CLI get instances, CLI list instances. Is it get or is it list? Or perhaps we could add in show instances and describe instances. Maybe it's show or describe. Keep them guessing. It's more fun that way. Your users get to have fun and guess what you're meaning. How about the uncomplicated firewall, UFW? That command is not uncomplicated. We have rules, we have deletes, we have inserts with values, we have enums, then we have enums with extra bits, and those extra bits are optional, and then we have an enum that is not optional, and then we have an enum with other things that are required, and then we have choices within things that are required. That's a nice, easy, simple, practically intuitive system, right? And verbosity. Let's give our users more information than they could ever use. Your users should feel like they're watching the Matrix on your screen. Because when we run brew install, you're treated to git clone logs, you're treated to compilation outputs, you're treated to linking details, and a partridge in a pear tree. And all that whilst you just care about whether it's done or not. We can have the great flag debate if you like. We can use -F, or ~file path, or ~file path, or ~file path with capitals, or ~file path with an underscore. Mix short, long, camel case, snake case, kebab case. Give them freedom. Let's make everything as complicated as possible. Even better, let's make our flags do different things. -v, the short flag, is for verbose logging. But ~version, well, that's setting the version to use for the CLI, and those are different. Users should have to retype everything every single time. Why would we bother with configuration files? That's just bad practice. Why would we want to help them when we can use ~API key, ~region, ~users? Importing and exporting, that's a paid feature. You've got to pay us for that. Defaults, they need to be destructive. Don't give them dry run, that's for cowards. Real CLI users live on the edge. And then let's have a single command to rule everything. Why would we have user create, user delete, user update? Let's have ~module users, ~action is create, ~name is test, ~email, ~role, ~active, and on it goes. Just add more flags, because more flags is fun. Interactivity. Your CLI needs to treat your users like it's a chatbot. Are you sure you want to deploy to production? Yes. You're deploying 1.2.3, are you sure? Yes. You're deploying to US East 1, are you sure? Yes. By the time you've got through this, your users should be very sure that they can't automate this. Or we can do the -VVVV mystery. We can have V for both, and then we can have VV for more, and then we can have VVV for everything, and what the hell is VVVV? Nobody knows what they mean. It's all about the feeling of the number of V's you want to type today. Or the footprint. Let's make a simple clock CLI that says it's 1023. And let's make sure it's 500 megabytes. It's not bloat, it's a feature-rich environment. I mean, it's only going to tell them the time, but we need to have the whole of NPM in there first. Semver, that's just a suggestion. 1.0.1 should definitely fix a typo and remove the user flag and rename it to subject, because that's just a minor change, right? Help and versioning helps for those who've given up, and version is for historians. Real CLI connoisseurs read the source code. Error messages, keep them brief, keep them unhelpful. Don't actually help your users, just tell them an error occurred. Don't tell them what occurred, just an error. Or better still, let's just return null. Silence is golden. If a command succeeds, don't say anything. Don't output anything. Did it work? Who knows? That suspense is part of the experience. So in conclusion, if you follow those simple rules, you too can create a CLI that's confusing, frustrating, impossible to automate, and utterly unforgettable. But there is a bit more. So why don't we fix some of this? Let's take a minor detour into POSIX. This is a secret handshake of a good CLI. So what is POSIX? The Portable Operating System Interface. It's a set of standards defined by IEEE to maintain compatibility between operating systems. It defines exactly how command line shells, utility interfaces, and more work. Think of it as a bit like the Geneva Convention for CLI tools. So the core promise is predictability. A user who knows how to use LS or grep, two of the most common CLIs, they should have a head start on using your CLI. Following the conventions reduces the cognitive load for your users, the amount they need to think about it. Don't make them learn a whole new dialect for your tool. So guideline number 1 is flag syntax. Options are single letters prefixed with a dash, but they can be bundled together. So you can do ls-l-a, or you can do ls-la. It's simple, it's clean, it's pretty much universally understood. Guideline 2 is arguments for flags. head-n10 file.txt. If an option takes an argument, it's separated by a space. In a bundle, the option with the argument goes last. So in this example, the f takes an argument of archive.tar. Guideline number 3, the double dash terminator. What if you have a file named -f? rm-f won't work because it thinks -f is a flag, but the double dash on its own tells it to stop processing flags now. But that's only if it's not followed by anything else directly. So rm -f, that will tell it that it's to delete something called -f. And this is a crucial feature for safe scripting. What about those long flags? So double dash verbose or double dash file. Well, they're not strictly POSIX. They were popularized by the GNU project as a more descriptive alternative. The modern convention is to support both, and it gives the users the best of both worlds, brevity and clarity. So -vf or double dash verbose, double dash file. So the takeaway, you don't need to be a standards lawyer, but knowing the basic rules of the road makes your CLIs easier to learn, easier to use, and easier to script. So how about we apply some of these ideas? Remember that destructive flag, git branch -d or -D? How about we're just a bit more precise? Double dash delete, double dash force. And even better, add a confirmation prompt. But more on that in a moment. The fix. Let's design some clearer flags. So remember the run with -P or -p? Let's make them mutually exclusive but required. You must have -G or -P or double dash global, double dash port. You must have one of them, and it eliminates the accidental exposure. Basically, it's eliminating a typo. While -x is the standard curl flag, it's not descriptive, so why don't we make it more descriptive? Double dash method or -m makes the command's intent obvious without needing to remember this arbitrary letter of -x. Let's stick to a convention for naming, and let's pick one up front. So use list if you're getting multiple items, use get for a single one. There's no more guessing games that way. So remember universal firewall or uncomplicated firewall? How about we give them a YAML file that they can write that makes it nice and easy to understand what's happening? And then we apply it with a simple command, firewall apply rules. By doing this, we're making it easy to put this into pipelines and making it easy to see what's happening. Let's make our script quiet by default, so show progress and not noise. So in this instance, install my package gives us a progress bar. It tells us it's downloading, it tells us it's installing, and it tells us it's done. Use --verbose. That might tell us that it's downloading from Git. It might tell us that it's compiling. It might tell us that it's linking. And then --debug will give us all of the things. That will help users to see what's happening at the level that they need to care about. Follow the POSIX standards for flags. Short and long flags for the same thing. Now yes, long flags aren't POSIX standards, but it's become accepted that -f and --file should be the same thing. Pick a case and stick with it as well, so if you're doing save file, pick one. Kebab case is the most common. One flag, one purpose. --verbose and --version. Now in this case, I would say that --version doesn't need a lowercase or a shorter flag. So the clarity is key here. -v would be verbose, and --version is the only one that is stuck to a long flag only. Clarity is what matters. Configuration files. Let your users save their settings. So have a config file. Use TOML, YAML, JSON, use whatever you want, just don't use XML. And then provide a way to import and export them. Make it simple. Always offer a dry run flag if things can go wrong. So if you have a delete everything, make sure you have a dry run flag so that users can see what might happen first. Your users' data will thank you. Subcommands. Break down the complex commands. So have my CLI, users, create, and then your flags. And then users delete, and then your flags. And then users update, and then your flags. It's more intuitive and it's easier to script. For automation, you can have a no interaction flag. So this is where I said earlier about having the confirmation. If you have a no interaction and a --force, you can bypass all of the interactive prompts. Having interaction is good, but having a way to turn it off is better. It allows your scripts to run your CLI without getting stuck, and it enables that true automation that people are looking for. Clear verbosity. Have the -v and the -d for verbose and debug. Don't go crazy with -v. Optimize for a small footprint. We joked about a clock that uses 500 meg. But in this case, choose your framework wisely, or better still, don't use one. Bundle only what you need, so enable tree shaking. And if possible, consider native compilation for faster startup and smaller binaries. Your users' hard drives and their patience is going to thank you for it. And use Semver properly. Follow semantic versioning, a major version for incompatible API changes. So with our example earlier, if we change --user to --subject, that is a major change. Minor versions for adding functionality in a backwards compatible manner. So if we kept --user and we added --subject, well, that's a minor fix. And a patch might be that there's a change in the docs that we just need to fix a typo, or we just need to expand on a single input. Your users and their scripts are going to thank you for this as well. The helpful help is essential. So in this case, my CLI, command, options. So here we're showing our commands that are available, the options that are available, and an example of how to use it. So with this, you'd have --help on my CLI. You'd also have --help on users, and then --help on users create. By doing this, you're breaking down your help into smaller sections, and your users will understand what's happening. Helpful errors. Explain what went wrong and explain how to fix it. So my CLI, do the thing. It's missing a required argument name, and we tell them how that looks. So we insert a name. and we give them an example command to type. Your users are a lot less likely to cry if we do that. Confirm successes. Tell the user that it worked. If you're using create user, then output that user test was created with ID 123. There's no more guessing then of what happens. So at this point, I'm going to open us up for questions, but please make sure to phrase your questions as a series of intelligible flags.